Hey, welcome back. This is being done very spontaneously. I've been listening to The End a lot lately, and it's such a great song. And so I was looking up which of the Doors albums are some of their most essential listening, and yeah, I thought let's just do the debut. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're starting with side one, and then we're gonna do side two. So yeah, if you like the Doors, hello. Yeah, all right. I love the Doors, even though I don't know a ton about them. We've reacted to a few of their tracks on here before, but I think that they're enough in my wheelhouse and the stuff that I really enjoy that I think that I wanted to listen to a full album, and I thought, why not react to it? So if you're new to the channel, my name is Daniel. Here we react to stuff. All right. The self-titled debut album of The Doors, this is generally considered a landmark album in the psychedelic rock genre. It was released January 4th, 1967 through Elektra Records. The album was a massive critical success, cementing The Doors as one of the greatest rock bands of all time. The album was certified platinum by the RIAA and was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Inducted in the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress 2015 based on its cultural, artistic, and historic significance. Break On Through and Light My Fire were released as singles for the album, with the latter acting as their breakthrough single and achieving massive commercial success. The album reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 behind Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The tracks that I've already heard off this album are Light My Fire and The End. Wow, The End is the closing track. I mean, that makes sense, but what an amazing ending track. I don't think I've heard any of the other one. Oh, wait, The Crystal Ship. Might have heard that one, too. Other than that, I don't think I've heard any of these. So, let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
You know the day destroys the night, night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah.
What an opening.
We chased our pleasures here, dug our treasures there, but can you still recall the time we cried? Break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side. I found an island in your arms, country in your eyes. Arms are chainless, eyes are lined. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Break on through, oh yeah! Made to see, week to week, day to day. The other side, break on through to the other side, break on through, break on through, break on through, break on through.
Jim's going at it. Ooh, the bass is awesome.
Will the clouds clock says it's time to close now. I guess I better go now. I really like to stay here all night. The cars crawl past all stuffed with eyes. Street lights share their hollow glow. Your brain seems bruised with numb surprise. Still one place to go. Still one place to go. Let me sleep all night in your soul kitchen. Warm my mind with your gentle stone. Turn me out in a wonder, baby. Stumbling in the neon glow. With your fingers weave quick minarets, speaking secret alphabets. I light another cigarette. Learn to forget. Learn to forget. Learn to forget. Learn to forget. Let me sleep all night in your soul kitchen. Warm my mind with your gentle snow. Turn me out in a wonder, baby. Stumbling in the neon glow.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the clock says it's time to close now. I know I have to go now. I really wanna stay here all night. All night. All night.
All right. Let me pause it for 1 second just to say, yeah, wow. I can't imagine seeing them live. Like, it'd be so freaking cool, man. I mean, yeah. Yeah, wish that were possible. Let's just keep going. I just want to keep going. Next one's Crystal Ship, I think. Yeah.
Before you slip into unconsciousness, I'd like to have another kiss, another flashing chance at bliss, another kiss, another kiss.
There's a lot of reverb on his voice. I love the dynamics of the album so far.
The days are bright and filled with pain. Enclose me in your gentle rain. The time you ran was too insane. We'll meet again. We'll meet again. streets are fields that never die. Deliver me from reasons why you'd rather cry. I'd rather fly. The crystal ship is being filled. 1,000 girls, 1,000 thrills, a million ways to spend your time. When we get back, I'll drop a line.
That is such a genuinely beautiful song and perfect moment on the album where we bring things down a little bit. Right. 20th Century Fox.
Well, she's fashionably lean, and she's fashionably late. She'll never rank a scene, she'll never break a day. But she's no drag, just watch the way she walks. She's a 20th century fox. She's a 20th century fox. No tears, no fears, no ruin years, no clocks. She's a 20th century fox. Oh, yeah, yeah. She's the queen of cool, and she's the lady who waits. Sets her mind, let's school. It never hesitates. She won't waste time on elementary talk, 'cause she's a 20th century fox. She's a 20th century fox. Got the world locked up inside a plastic box. She's a 20th century fox. 20th century fox. 20th century fox. She's a 20th century fox.
Oh, that was catchy. Fun. All right, what's the next one? Alabama song. Ooh. Ooh.
Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, moon of Alabama, now must say goodbye. We've lost our good old mama. I must have whiskey, oh, you know why. goodbye. We lost our good old mama, and must have whiskey, oh, you know why. Yeah. Oh, show me the way to the next little girl. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next little girl. Oh, don't ask why.
Saying little girl, isn't he?
Don't ask why. For if we don't find the next little girl, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die.
Not dramatic at
I
all.
tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
That's the heart flatlining. Just kidding.
Say goodbye. We lost our good old mama, and must have whiskey, oh, you know why.
All right. Let me see. How many tracks are we into it? Next one's Light My Fire. And I think that's the last track on the first side. Yeah. I just want to mention one of the reasons I love the Doors so much is they're like mixing together edgy, almost like macabre sounds and like hard rocking sounds, along with the like experimentation that they do musically. It's really cool how they kind of combined those two things when I don't think there were a lot of other people on this level combining those two things at this time. Not only that, but Jim Morrison's lyrics are so great. Sometimes very strange or eerie, but I really like his style of writing. Yeah, that last song sounded like it could have been in a Tim Burton film almost. Yeah, anyway, let's keep going. Obviously, you know, this was before that, but... Oh, yeah. This is such a great song, man.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. The time to hesitate is through. No time to wallow in the mire. Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.
Here we go.
is through. No time to wallow in the mire.
Such an amazing song, man.
Try now, we can only lose, and our love become a funeral pyre. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire. Yeah. You know that it will be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on 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 fire.
Okay, so concludes side one of The Doors, The Doors. All right, cool. I love it. Freaking love it. Wow. See some of this album is a masterpiece. All the songs are unbelievable gems. One of the best albums ever made. Absolutely no one is like The Doors. They are completely unique, so special. Morrison never sang before The Doors. He even had stage fright. What a legend. His voice gives me the chills. Yep, me too. I remember back when I was 5. It was 1971, riding in a car with a couple of my aunts and my dad. It was nighttime, raining steadily into the streets. The radio station was continually playing 2 songs, Light My Fire and Riders on the Storm. It was in honor of the late Jim Morrison. I had no idea who the Doors were, but I developed such an indelible imagery from both those songs. Each of them carried such ethereal and haunting scenery, sometimes even scary for an innocent 5-year-old. Now I'm 54, and to this day the Doors remain one of my all-time favorite bands. Almost 50 years without this poet, genius, vocalist, you will always be missed, never forgotten. Yeah. I'm listening to this 54 years after its release, and it's still as fresh and unique as the first time I listened to it in 1967. On this album, there's blues, rock, jazz, psychedelia, opera, proto-punk, pop, raga rock. I've never heard of that one before. All right, interesting. What can I say but just a masterpiece? So many memories listening to this album in the 90s, which adopted my lifelong obsession with the Doors. I was born 10 days after Jim died. I wish I was able to experience the Doors in real time. I like to think Ray, Jim, and Pam are having a great time reunited together. Such a heavy-hitting debut album. All right, let's stop reading comments. Let's take a look here. All right, so I'm gonna skip the Crystal Ship and Light My Fire because I've done standalone videos on the lyrics and stuff for both of those. We're gonna do Break On Through to the Other Side, Soul Kitchen, 20th Century Fox, and Alabama Song Whiskey Bar, starting with track 1. All right, this is the quintessential Doors song. Is it? Break On Through to the Other Side? I guess it could be. Whenever I think of the Doors, I immediately think of either Riders on the Storm or The End or Light My Fire. Anyway, vivid with exceptional imagery, drug use metaphors, psychedelic musical composition, and amazing vocals, it's a great example of everything the Doors do the best, and all on the same track. Jim Morrison was way into psychedelics, and this is most likely a reference to LSD use, and the presumption that it helps users have the breakthrough to get out of social reality, drawing new connections and acquiring a clearer image of what's really going on. After such an epiphany, one could claim that they had passed on to the other side. It's worth mentioning that the name The Doors was inspired by the novel The Doors of Perception, which contains accounts of the author's mescaline trips. Borrowed the title of his book from a stanza in William Blake's The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. This has appeared in Gardens of Stone, The Doors, Mista, Forrest Gump. It was in Forrest Gump. I saw Forrest Gump, so I must have heard part of it then. Those Who Love Me Can Take the Train, Jarhead, Udon, Deliver Us from Evil, and this was in Minions? Interesting. You know, the day destroys the night and night divides the... Yeah, very, Very psychedelic imagery. Night divides the day, tried to run, tried to hide, break on through to the other side. It reminds me of the Moody Blues, which I think were also inspired by the Doors of Perception for that one album that I think I reacted to the whole thing of on here a while ago. We do need to get back to the Moody Blues, but in due time. Here we go. This may be a reference to a biblical passage which in some versions of the Bible, when God created the earth, they reference the sun and the moon and their powers, with the paraphrase of day destroys the night and night divides the day. The creation of the earth is nothing without sun and the moon, and the opening of the doors of perception are nothing without darkness, ignorance, and light, enlightenment. One may also detect a reference to the Oriental yin and yang concept. Tried to run, try to hide. Many people seek to. Yeah, this is an interesting. So he just kind of says a statement and then says he's trying to run, trying to hide. Many people seek to escape from their suffering through distraction, whether through mood-altering substances or healthier activities such as exercise, may offer a temporary reprieve. The roots of the problem will never simply go away. And this line could be Morrison's statement about the many people who have destroyed their lives by seeking an easy route to higher consciousness, and an acknowledgement that he knows it to be counterproductive. Alternatively, it could be Jim stating that most people are afraid to go to the other side, and instead they try to run and hide from that which they do not understand. And those two interpretations kind of contradict each other in the most, polar opposite interpretations there. I also like how this song starts the album. You know, it's a great opening track. We're going to break on through to the other side with this sonic experimentation that we've got going on here. Break on through to the other side. Yeah, we chased our pleasures here, dug our treasures there. Can you still recall time we cried? This also sounds like it's probably a reference to, a drug reference. Can you recall the time we cried, chased our pleasures here? I remember watching a video of a guy making fun of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop show on Netflix. And there's an episode where they just go like to a place where mushrooms are legal, and they just do mushrooms. And one of them like really, really emotionally and like violently reacts to it, and he's like crying and shaking and saying he can see a light and like celestial bodies or something like that, and they all just kind of like hold him. Anyway, that's what this line, can you recall time we cried, is making me think of. Okay, break on through to the other side. All right, the band The Doors was named after Aldous Huxley's book, The Doors of Perception, book that entitled Huxley's experience with hallucinogenic drugs. Jim Morrison was fascinated with the doors of perception and breaking on through to the other side to reach alternate states of consciousness. What a cool book cover. Of course, that's from a William Blake quote. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is, infinite. Then we got the organ solo. Then, hey, come on, yeah. Everybody loves my baby. Everybody loves my baby. I was wondering if he was just saying she gets higher. And yeah, everyone loves my baby sounds like it could be paranoia. You know, he thinks everyone's trying to like get his girl. Or he's looking at her and says she's so beautiful, everyone loves her. Everyone loves Morrison's girl because she gets high. This could be the literal sense of people taking advantage of her when she's inebriated, or that she's fun to be around when she's high. Due to concern over the use of the word high, the album, radio, and single versions censored the word. However, the word was eventually restored in later reissues of the album. Yeah, I think that was also the case with The End. I remember reacting to The End and being very shocked. But I mean, I love the song. I like shocking songs. Those are cool sometimes. But I remember a whole lot of people in the comments being like, this is not the right version of the song. This is obscene or explicit or whatever. And it's like, this was the original intended version. You got the censored version, you know? Like, I mean, not that there's any problem with that. And if you find it obscene, there's no problem with that either. I'm just saying that was what the Doors intended it to be. And I hate the fact that they had to censor it. It sucks. Obviously, it is pretty outrageous, but what are you going to do? It's an outrageous album. All right. I found an island in your arms, country in your eyes, arms that chained us, eyes that lied. Very dramatic words. I found an island in your arms. I found my peace in the sea of infinite nothingness, I've found my life just being in your arms. And I have found a whole country in your eyes. If your arms were an island, just gazing into your eye, very romantic, gazing into your eyes is the whole country. Arms that chained us, eyes that lied. So then he almost twists it. The arms and the eyes are almost bad. Talking about how love can be an escape, a safe haven, but ultimately it can lead to imprisonment of the soul and deception. Break on through to the other side. Open your eyes. Prying open my third eye, made the scene week to week, day to day, hour to hour, gate is straight, deep and wide. Jeez. The scene is most likely life whose door is narrow, and it's going on week to week, day to day, hour to hour. It's inspired by the Andre Gides this book, Straight as the Gate, which in a Freudian manner probes the complexities and terrors of adolescence and growing up. The title of which is borrowed from Matthew 7:14, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. The gate here could also mean the doors of perception, And then just break on through to the other side, and we complete the first track. Next is Soul Kitchen, which is such a great name for a song. The song is about Jim Morrison's love for soul food serving diner Olivia's on Venice Beach. It is an ode to Morrison's drunken nights and early mornings. It's featured on the Doors' self-titled debut album. The guitar riff is an homage to the horn section of James Brown's Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. Okay, maybe we need to check out that track. Well, the clock says it's time to close now. I guess I better go now. I'd really like to stay here all night. The cars crawl past, all stuffed with eyes. Streetlights shed their hollow glow. Your brain seems bruised with numb surprise. Still one place to go. Still one place to go. I also really like, that's another thing I love about Jim Morrison's writing, the surrealist quality to it. Cars are crawling past, stuffed with eyes, and the streetlights have a hollow glow. A bruised brain. The way he writes is really cool to me. It's currently time for the bar that Morrison is in to close, as it is early in the morning. He is to be turned out onto the street, and his next lines are about traveling to his soul kitchen, either to his lover's house or Olivia's on Venice Beach. Honest men and women are passing Jim Morrison on the road as they're going to work, while Morrison is stumbling drunk into a diner. The street lights shedding their hollow glow reaffirms this as the street lights are turning off as dawn breaks. His brain is being bruised with numb surprise, which is likely a reference to him being intoxicated at the time. As mentioned, the destination is Olivia's on Venice Beach. His affinity for southern black culture and the diner's all-night serving of soul food led to his fondness for Olivia's. Still one place to go. Let me sleep all night in your soul kitchen. Warm my mind near your gentle stove. Turn me out and I'll wander, baby, stumbling in the neon groves. When I was listening to the song, I thought it was a sensual song. That soul kitchen and warming my mind near your gentle stove were kind of, double entendres or had some, some meaning behind them. Anyway, through the context of the album, following Break On Through and being awoken to the other side, Jim wants to stay asleep all through the night in the soul kitchen, a warm and gentle place. And when the time comes to leave the soul kitchen, he'll wander and stumble in the neon groves, the city, the concrete jungle, if you will, as a free man and learn so that he can forget what he was taught and what he thought was true. The neon groves are a reference to the nightlife of a city, filled with luminescent neon signage, yet most street signs are enclosed, akin to a grove. The stumbling is a reference to his likely drunken stupor at the time of being turned out. Jim was known to love acid, which causes colorful, trippy hallucinations. He once dosed 10,000 micrograms before a concert, so he was definitely stumbling in a colorful aura. Oh, wow. Yeah, a bright city. Okay. Well, your fingers weave quick minarets? Minarets? Speak in secret alphabets. I light another cigarette, learn to forget, learn to forget. Vivid description of the cook preparing his food on the stove, or the wait person taking his order, probably with double entendre, as with the chorus. Secret alphabets. Here he speaks about his encryption technique and the use of Caesar shifts to open up words and get inspiration for poetry and lyrics. This technique allows the poet to encrypt and weave words together into construction minarets down the page. Let me look up exactly what this word means. This is going to be loud, isn't it?
Minaret.
Ow. Why was the voice like that? Okay. Minaret. A tall, slender tower, typically part of a mosque. More definitions. Um, light or fire? Yeah, none of this has anything to do with poetry that I see here. Hmm. Strange. I wonder if they're just, yeah. I don't know. Oh wait, is this spelled different? Minareets. Minareets. No, all right. Oh, whatever. Moving on. Learn to forget, learn to forget. Jim may have had some reservations about completely breaking off from his family after moving to LA and attending UCLA. He also had some major issues with his military admiral father, who never accepted or appreciated Morrison's artistic side. These lyrics may refer to the pain this caused him every now and now he had to learn to forget his past in order to truly be free and break on through. The clock says it's time to close now. I guess I have to go now. I really want to stay here all night. He wants to stay in the warm sanctuary that is the Soul Kitchen, but his time is up. He has to navigate through the night alone. Then, within the context of the album, I feel. Yeah, the top comment is I think the song is about sex, not a kitchen. That's kind of what I thought as well. Within the context of the rest of the album, it's also like that beginning broke us in, and this one is kind of uh, lyrically easing us into him saying, well, I wish we could stay here in the glow. We've got to move forward. And then I think the next one is the Crystal Ship, which brings things down a little bit more. And then 20th Century Fox, which is rockin'. All right. This song title is a pun on the famous 20th Century Fox movie studio and the modern day woman described in the song. She's glamorous, but artificial. According to the Waiting for the Sun Doors archive, Jack Holzman said the track was originally intended to be the follow-up single behind Break On Through to the Other Side. However, the popularity of Light My Fire forced them to go in a different direction. Yeah, Light My Fire is so freaking iconic, man. Like that, the keyboard part, or the organ part, I guess, is so cool. Yeah, makes me think of Gallica for some reason. Anyway, she's fashionably lean, she's fashionably late. She'll never wreck a scene, she'll never break a date, but she's no drag, just watch the way she walks. She's a 20th century fox, no tears, no fears, no ruined years, no clocks. She's a 20th century fox. So yeah, entirely artificial. No tears, no fears, no ruined years. The term lean usually means without fat, so this line suggests the young woman is thin or fit. The use of the word fashionably may allude to the strict beauty standards of 60s Hollywood, especially since 20th Century Fox is a movie studio. So she's fashionably late, but she'll never wreck a scene. She'll never make a scene, and she'll never break a date. Drag is an expression used to refer to things or people that are boring or annoying. Despite some people believing she's a drag, the lead singer knows that isn't the case. Though shallow, he can tell simply based on the way she walks. It may be a seductive walk, considering she's a fox, a term used when referring to ladies who look good. Okay, play on the word fox, meaning good-looking girl. 20th Century Fox, which is a movie studio where these foxes or good-looking actresses from 20th century would be. Yeah, she's the queen of cool. She's the lady who waits. Since her mind left school, it never hesitates. She won't waste time on elementary talk. Elementary and school being tied together there. Since her mind left school. Does that mean she dropped out, or does that mean ever since she left school? It never hesitates. And then a repeat of the chorus. Got the world locked up inside a plastic box. She's a 20th century fox. Oh, yeah. The fact that the world is inside something that belongs to her may suggest the idea of control through the statement of possession. So the line may intend to say that she controls the world. Now, considering the word plastic was and still is used to signify something fake, phony, unnatural, it's fair to assume that this control is not real. There might be a little sarcasm towards the fox. Yeah, you're a hot woman, you dominate the scene, but you're a plastic box of appearances, social status, or even illusion of control itself. Huh. Okay. Then we've got Alabama song Whiskey Bar, and I think this was the last one that I've never gone over before. This is a cover of a German poem written by Berthold Berthold, which I probably am not pronouncing that right either, but this person, and published, oh God, in 1927 in his collection, this collection right here. Let's look it up. That brings us to post offices. There's an English translation of it in Collins Dictionary. Okay, I'll come back to that after finishing recording this. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Don't ask why. Don't ask why. If we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. Yeah, very dramatic song. Oh, moon of Alabama, we must now say goodbye. We've lost our good old mama, must have whiskey, you know why. Very repetitious song too, but I didn't even realize that while listening to it. In the context of the album, I think the line refers to Jim having lost his moral authority and traveling without his mother or a home that's holding him back. He can have all the booze and sex he wants, and he's going to take as much as he can get because he must die eventually. He'd rather die drunk and laid. Show me the way to the next little girl. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why. I tell you we must die if we don't find the way to the next little girl. In the original version of this song, it was sung by prostitutes, and therefore the line was the next little boy. Morrison changed it to girls, but occasionally also uses the boys' version for live performances. The sources I find say the original is pretty boy, not little boy. Chris Hansen has entered the studio. First off, I want to make it clear I adore Jim Morrison as well as the other members of the Doors. This lyric sounds, yep, that's what I thought too. It's a weird line. I don't know, just thought-provoking and honest perspective. I hope I'm completely off base. I've heard so many Beatles songs also said similar stuff too. Like, we've been reacting to the Beatles albums on Patreon. I don't think that they intended it to mean anything predatory, and if they did, then yeah, that sucks. I hope not. You obviously can't be sure. Yeah, I don't know. I also thought the line was weird, though, for the record. All right, oh, moon of Alabama. We must now say goodbye. We've lost our good old mama and must have whiskey. You know why. Yeah, okay. And then light my fire, which I guess I'll read the little information snippet for it. But like I said, if you want to see my initial reaction to this, which was filmed a long while ago, so I was also tiny. One of the Doors' first songs, written primarily by the band's guitarist Robbie Krieger, who also wrote the three other big hits, Touch Me, Love Me Two Times, and Love Her Madly. Light My Fire was the first top charting hit, succeeding first as an LP track, then shortened by more than 4 minutes and issued as a single. This song is consistently featured in various greatest songs ever lists, landing 35 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Not that Rolling Stone knows anything, but I guess I'd agree with them on this point. It is one of the 500 greatest songs of all time, probably. It might even be higher than what they put it as, but whatever. This song perfectly combines Jim Morrison's powerful voice with Robbie Krieger's guitar playing, Ray Manzarek's iconic organ riff and solo. He said in an interview with NPR about the song, but it was true for the whole album, "We were aware of Muddy Waters, we were aware of Howlin' Wolf and John Coltrane and Miles Davis, plus Jan and Dean and the Beach Boys and the surf sound. Robbie Krieger brings in some flamenco guitar. I bring a little bit of classical music along with the blues and jazz, and John Densmore was heavy into jazz, and Jim brings in beatnik poetry and French symbolist poetry. And that's the blend of the Doors. As the sun is setting into the Pacific Ocean at the end, the terminus of Western civilization." That's the end of it. Western civilization ends here in California at Venice Beach, so we stood there, inventing a new world on psychedelics. I love that whole quote right there. It's like I'd saved up all these ideas in my mind, got them all out at once. Jim had the idea of the band being a shooting star. Were they high when they were doing these interviews? Why is the album version so much longer than the radio edit? That always bothered me. We never wanted to cut it, but our first single, Break On Through, flopped, and radio stations told us Light My Fire would be a hit if we cut it down. We didn't have much choice because AM radio ruled everything. If you wanted to get on AM, you had to have a short song. Ed Sullivan asked the Doors to change the lyrics as Higher was deemed a cannabis smoking reference. The Doors said they would, and they didn't. The rest is history. That reminds me of when some radio station asked Rage Against the Machine. They had Rage Against the Machine come on their station and ask them to play Killing in the Name Of, but to not say the F word. the entire like purpose of the song. I won't do what you tell me. Like I don't understand why they ever thought that that was a good idea, but yeah, you can tell how that turned out. All right, that is the first side of The Doors. The Doors. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm loving the album so far. I kind of knew I went into this knowing I would really enjoy it though, so not no surprise there. But if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing if you want, and stay tuned for side 2. Yeah, all right, bye.